All right, sorry for the on and off, but hopefully should have the FPS settings a little bit better. The stream should be a little bit clearer. Again, I didn't have most of these settings. My computer was in pieces just until a little bit ago. I'm sorry for turning it on, turning it off. I see the viewers fluctuated a bit, which is of course my fault. But hopefully everything should look a lot better now, a lot smoother. Again, I had nothing set up. And we're just going to keep seeing these pings pretty much coming in for the dragon soon. It looks like Cat Cowboys are opting to go ahead and trade this dragon for the Baron, which will cause JPJ to go ahead and make sure the midwave is pushed out and that they have control in that area, so they're able to flip a switch to either or. But for now, it's going to be just a bunch of posturing as Cat Cowboys is basically saying, please take that dragon, we dare you. We would like to instead trade that for the Baron. We think the Baron's going to help us more. And that definitely can be the case for sure, but let's see what JPJ is going to go ahead and do. Interesting enough, their jungler is backing here. I guess it's because he has the finished cleaver, and which he does, but this instead is going to allow Cat Cowboys an early in onto the side of the dragon. We can see if they stall here, but Karma is also unfortunately all the way at the Baron buff, and this might just go ahead and beat Cat Cowboys Dragon. I think that JPJ is just a little bit too slow on this. I could see them trying for a team fight here, but you're going to want to watch to see an RETP pretty much immediately. Instead, it's not going to really happen yet. Cassante is kind of in the back, and you're going to have Jax just wailing on your Zeri. He does use the golden move already, and Xin Zhao is able to go ahead and get away. Jax getting a fat stun with Xin just going down immediately. I don't know if this team fight really looks that good for JPJ. There just seems to be getting slightly shredded. The Gwyn ult coming through. The Ezreal just constantly landing all of his Qs. And instead we're going to see a pretty much almost a complete ace coming out of the side of Cat Cowboys. And yeah, and that's one of those things where you just have to pretty much commit to an objective when it's going to come up. You can't kind of half-ass it where you just sit there and go, oh, well, we'll just recall. I've got an item completion. I'm going to ward Baron. I'll TP a little late. Instead, when you do all those things and you do them a little bit too slow, Cat Cowboys is able to just pretty much pounce on that opportunity and show why they're an undefeated team. They're going to go ahead and put themselves on Soul Point, grab another 2K to throw to their gold lead, as well as this Baron, which will probably follow with another 1,000. And we're going to see if JPJ is able to kind of withhold the siege, but it's going to be really hard with the Ezreal, Poppy, the Jax, the Victor. It's a lot of things to really get through. And we're going to see actually another inner turret coming in from Lakey as well. The gold lead ballooning to 6.5 thousand. We're going to see them try to collapse here on the red over on the side of Zen. He immediately pretty much has to ult from the Poppy, but the Poppy's still going to get the slam off. We should see the ult knockup coming through as well. Poppy trying to get the blast cone in time, and it does, right into the waiting arms of the Ezreal and the Victor, but instead they were looking in on the Ahri. They're not in position now from the split focus, and instead it seems like all three of them might go down here. The Ahri just constantly getting these resets. All the carries going down. The Ahri does immediately fall. The Jax is going in to try to get the Zins out, but I don't know if he's enough. He's going to be able to be enough here. He does have the full Zodiacs completed. He does manage to get the support and his stun back. Ooh, he almost go ahead and get Zeri as well, but instead the Cassante damage is too much. Gwyn just kind of watching on the outskirts as only one Baron remains. The gold slingshotting 3K back towards the side of JPJ, and this match is starting to look a bit more even all of a sudden after it seemed disastrous. Man, Xin Zhao trying to be a little greedy over here to get some more gold in his pocket, but as you can tell, Lakey does not want that to happen. He pretty much zones Xin Zhao off of that, but thankfully he still has more camps to farm, and he's just going to go ahead and continue on his way, farming what he can. This Zeri does now have the Last Whisper completed. The Bloodthirster should be coming in shortly, and honestly, they've weathered the storm of the Baron approach, and now it pretty much just all is just going to be basically about who gets picked before the Dragon setup starts. I guess they're going to go ahead and try to use the last bit of this Baron buff to do a bit of a siege here. but considering the Zeri with the Renans, it's only going to probably be taken down to about half HP here. But the Gwen does do a lot of damage. Instead, it seems like they kind of decide to overexert themselves, losing a bunch of HP. The Poppy does zone them with the ult. We're going to see Xin Zhao pretty much go all the way back to base. Everyone is like just blinking health bars pretty much on the side of Cat Cowboys, but really nothing that JPJ can do about it, which is, it's super frustrating considering the state of the game. If they're able to get some kills, it would feel great. They're just pretty much having to allow Cat Cowboys to go ahead and reset. They are pushing forward on this, but I don't really think they're going to be able to get too much out of it. The Zeri just kind of like poking with W's constantly. The Victor gets to reset. The Poppy gets to reset. The Gwen also resetting as well. So it just comes back down to the Dragon setup. And one thing that really sucks for the side of JPJ is how integral the Zeri ult is. And the Zeri ult should be down for this. And the Ahri face checks the Jax immediately, gets an ult proc, and is able to kind of go backwards. Jax did get a little bit baited out there, but instead we should still see the the snip coming out from the side of Lakey. He's pretty chunked. He's able to get out though, and it's just a bunch of close on the side of on both sides here. And like the Dragon's still not even up yet, but unfortunately now you also don't have the Ahri ult. The Zeri ult does seem to be ticking basically like it's going to be up in time. But honestly, with how chunked the Karma is and not having an Ahri ult, it's going to be a very difficult fight to navigate, especially with the Karma feeling unable to recall at all here. The Ahri is going to start pushing out this bot wave. I would like to make sure that Ahri is with the rest of their team. All things considered, it's so hard for them to get in here. They're having to pretty much rely on K'Sante as if he was an Ornn, but instead we're just seeing this lethal tempo being prepared on the side of Ezreal. The ult's going to go ahead and go through and chunk Zeri, and then K'Sante's going to go ahead and buy his team some space, and man, that Zeri just immediately popped that Jax. The fight's going to be a bit split here. The Ezreal just doing so much damage on the backside along with the Victor. The Victor does get popped as well. The Ahri ult does come out in time. The Ezreal goes down as well. Xin Zhao making up for all of his earlier transgressions, just pretty much chunking everybody. And even though Gwen is starting to kill people on the backside, there's just too many people, I think, to fight. And we're going to see K'Sante go all out, as we're going to see the Gwen go down as well. The Soul Point now also going to the side of JPJ, and the gold lead is not even 600 gold. We should see them be able to take quite a few turrets off of this, and the game's just back to even. And so far, I keep saying so far, I'm just going to keep saying that over again. That's just my phrase of the day. We're going to see K'Sante just take a bit more gold with the advantages that they were able to get here. We should see some Baron setups coming up here. Nothing, obviously as just like inflammatory as dragon fights always seem to be. I think in 6 minutes, we're, about 5 to 6 minutes when that dragon spawns, we're going to start seeing the... pretty much who's gonna win the game, I think, based off of that fight. And it does seem JPJ has basically scaled to their liking. They've got the Zeri pretty much right where they want her. If they can pretty much get her to finish her last item, she's super close, having 2,000 gold along with the Vamp Scepter already. I think she pretty much just needs 2 to 3 more waves, maybe just a couple more minion farm. She wants to get the Bloodthirster, but let's hope that JPJ doesn't get a little too overzealous from like their previous one fights, actually having the gold lead in their favor currently, which is pretty impressive all things considered. And one thing that really helps too is the fact that this Ahri is so much tankier than she's been all game, able to pretty much navigate these fights like a lot easier in the sense of how they've been going. Extremely chaotic though. It's hard to call any of these front to back as they're pretty much just constantly going. Lakey is just sitting in the bush. I really don't think Lakey's just going to all of a sudden fight the K'Sante. Probably just going to go ahead and snip the wave. K'Sante is a bit sus about that happening. The Baron does come up. Cat Cowboys does have the earlier setup for it, but they don't really have a position to really go in too soon. We see the Bloodthirster completed on the Zeri. Zeri is going to be absolutely massive. The K'Sante and Zeri are basically, I think, the 2 biggest factors in this fight, and depending on which direction that they're going to go. If the K'Sante is able to buy space and if the Zeri is able to stay alive, you can see how much damage that JPJ can do. The Ezreal ult just going a little wide, just doing a little bit of checking, seeing if he can go ahead and get some chunk damage, and it just becomes a game of posturing as you see them just kind of go back and forth. The top laners in the bot lane just basically just trading, making sure the minion waves aren't going too far in either direction, just looking for a good TP. Pretty much K'Sante can stop Gwen, but Gwen cannot stop K'Sante nor do enough damage to really confront that. and we're going to go ahead and see JPJ position in an interesting way. An early redemption coming through, a good chunk on the side of Jax, but nothing else going. Nothing else really happening. We should see them force it, considering they had to get the Cassante TP. This should be trying to force the Gwen TP here. It's interesting to see if Cat Cowboys is going to contest. They should with the Poppy ult. I think the Poppy ult is going to sit there and try to hit somebody wide, and immediately Xin Zhao's going to go out. They should stop hitting this Baron. Nobody can really do anything, but Nate Babe's not going to be able to do anything about it either. This Zeri's just completely untouched in the backside, just constantly doing damage. Xin Zhao buying a bit more space as well. Zeri getting hella chunked from these Gwen ults coming through, and then Jack's going to go and do a savior flip. He's not able to actually get anybody here, and instead Zeri is still able to just barely live in these fights. Ezreal having to go ahead and queue forward to try to do something here, but either saving the fight, slamming the Zeri against the wall. Meanwhile, a pentakill on the side of Steel Myself, and just a well-played fight from the side of Cat Cowboys. Really close, went back and forth multiple times. With this minion wave, they should be able to go ahead and end this game. And man, what just absolutely crazy. I'm very curious on like if Ether was unable to pretty much get the get that wall slam on Zeri, if Zeri was going to be able to make some moves onto the Ezreal, but instead we're going to go ahead and see Cat Cowboys end this game and continue on their undefeated streak, hoping to close out game 2 as well. But man, JPJ definitely brought the fight back to them. All right. Everyone should be able to hear us all over again.
Oh,
Where
I
is he?
gotta mute the stream.
You heard my voice and you're like, oh no. But
Yeah,
we got
I heard
draft
the
going.
echo.
We got the Fearless going. We got game 2 going. We had most of game 1 streamed. Maybe I forgot to turn the sound on for only like 8 minutes of the after the first 5 minutes, but we on it. We got the series
It
going.
happens.
It's rolling on down. And we're seeing pretty expected things. Pretty much, I see with the Braum ban, I'm expecting an engage support out of JPJ, something like a rel, something like a uh,
Leona. We've seen a
Nautilus,
lot of
Leona,
Leona.
yeah, something like that. At least that's what I expect. It's either that or just Braum is just annoying as hell, so they're just getting it out of here, which also makes sense. They also probably have like a priority target, which is why they were looking to ban the Vibe, but instead the Nami ban coming out here, which is extremely surprising. I don't see anything in chat saying that it's not a Nami ban, which of course, like I always feel like as long as they haven't done anything yet, you can kind of just quickly type a champion because like LOL draft sometimes just lags.
Yeah.
So like
Yes, it
by all
does.
means, just say something when you can. But we do see the Wukong band here. The first pick coming out from the side of JPJ. We're gonna see a Varus. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty much just gonna go ahead and get what they want. Definitely don't want to see Cat Cowboys on a Yasuo comp. I mean, it's fun for us, but definitely not fun to play against.
The thing is, if you ban Braum and Yasuo, I mean, it clearly means they have an idea that, like, not just the knockups, but, like,
Hmm.
separate of the Braum, we also don't want to see the Yasuo.
No, I definitely agree.
So,
It could also just mean that they have wide AoE things that they want to use. Like, for example, if the side of Cat Cowboys decides to pick an engage, they can also answer that with the Renata now that the Braum is also down. So it does open up other picks besides just engage picks as well.
that is true. That is true. But we do see the Lucian with the Nami banned, but
I think Lucian Nami
the,
is actually a bit of a bait. I do think that Lucian's really good with other picks, such as Braum. I think I haven't really seen Rakan lately, but I can just imagine it's still pretty good. Like he's just a lane bully, and Nami does give him a lot of tools to do whatever he wants. And I just think that he can play with other champions pretty much for sure. And now we see why the Vi was not banned and why it was swapped, which is probably good that it was swapped, all things considered. Um, with the Lucian immediately going in and getting the Vi to go ahead and make sure you can lock him down in these late game team fights.
yeah, that's understandable. The other thing, just to piggyback off your point, Nami has been so gutted. Like, I feel like it's been like 3 or 4 nerfs in a
Mm-hmm.
row.
Specifically, that combo has been gutted, like the way they work around each other. Like it's been unfortunate that Nami, like when she finally got play, is basically as a Lucian bot, and that has gotten her nerfed. Because I like other combos with Nami, such as like Kate Nami. I think Kate Nami has always been like historically pretty good. Even something like what like Nami Ezreal has been decent because he can allow you to basically fight pretty hard in lane. But unfortunately, Lucian had gotten Nami pretty nerfed, and we do see why the Braum was banned here. The Leona immediately coming through after they're able to counterpick the enemy bot lane pretty much. And like you almost always are willing to take Varus into what I feel like any matchup. It just sucks if it's like a Jarvan or something, but you can deal.
Well, it is a Diana, which is like a Jarvan, um, functionally a AP Jarvan.
Mhm.
So yeah,
What's interesting now is all things considered from the previous game and then now with the Diana being picked and the Rakan being picked, is there a world where Yasuo doesn't get banned if it goes to game 3? Because you're starting to get all of the facilitators from Yasuo, like for the Yasuo comp specifically, starting to go down. So like it almost makes me wonder what the prio might be if JPJ is able to pull this one up.
I'm gonna say maybe because
Because fuck
League is filled. Yeah, and League is
Yasuo.
filled with infinity people who just want to play Yasuo and play Yasuo way too much. So it's entirely possible that, even if all the Yasuo friends are banned, you still just don't want to give someone who plays 8 million games of Yasuo just to watch them dashy dashy, wind wall, dashy dashy, knock up, dashy dashy, knock up.
No, I definitely
Oh,
agree, and not only that, but like Ibis has been playing like for like quite a few seasons, and I always considered him pretty much like the rock of his team. Like not necessarily like like the super flashy, but he was always willing to do his job in the team fights. Is always super solid. But this season specifically, I feel like he's just been on a tear.
yes.
Like it,
Yes,
like
has looked very good.
I just think Cat Cowboys are coming out with something to prove. I think they're proving that they're trying to come out here and be like, we're not just the perennial second seed. We're not going to go one and done in semis. We're going to do this all season long. And like so far, I just think they've looked extremely good in pretty much all of their games.
I mean, they have, but also Knights of Ishtar are not looking bad either. So
Maybe Knights of Ishtar kind of baits here and there because so far they kind of just beat up on two of what I would consider are the weaker. Like I think the teams that they beat uh, were almost both without a win. Pat and the Not Pats were able to get their first series win against DPS the day before, and you know sometimes that like that takes a bit out of the desperation out of the sales because when you finally get that like first win, like especially when you have like back to back games in a weekend, like you're not playing as locked in as you may have going into the KOI. Like if they were still hungry for that first dub.
yes,
So like
yeah,
it's
that
just,
is true.
and I don't put anything against
Ooh.
Knights of Ishtar. People saw my power rankings last week about how I like fucking glazed them, and I put them through the roof after styling on the doctors for them to just having a very unfortunate series following. But like I always believe in them to put it together. It's about win.
That is fair and true. And also, we get the set Ambessa in the top lane, possibly, assuming with a Galio. Oh, I don't like it now.
You don't like it? They've got a lot of damage
No.
on their team. The Galio is able to facilitate this pretty easily.
I feel like this is one of those comps where if you can get the Varus, you win every team fight.
But how do you get the Varus if the set is positioned? Because this is very similar to I don't know if you casted it, but like 2 seasons ago when I was on Mighty Throws, we ran set top into Knights of Shemashes with Vimstat and them, Vimstat and Inviction. They were playing the Diana Rakan, and when we had Katsumi playing set, he made it literally impossible for them to play the game because every time they would ult or go forward, he would just cancel their go forward button with his own set ult into the enemy team, and it just prevented anything from happening all game long. And like, I think Set is just a phenomenal pick into Rakan Diana.
That is. Ooh, and a Tristana mid. Interesting. I agree with you, but I think they have, at this point, 5 members who can, if need be, get access to the back line, right?
True,
Like
but
that.
you have to still go through a Set, a Leona, a Galio, a Vi, a Verisol. It's a lot of damage, a lot of CC, a lot of tankiness. Like it's just a lot to get through because like to be honest, if Vi isn't just kind of like R'ing the Lucian immediately or R'ing the Trist immediately, like if anybody jumps in on the Varus, Vi can easily just R that person as well, and you still have like the Leona engage, the Galio zone control. It's a lot. It's a minefield of pain to work through to get to this Varus.
That is true.
I do
That
I
is
do
true.
still agree with you that they do have a lot of damage and angles though, because like it's still like because I mean like yes they have all the CC and yes they have a lot of this anti dive in a sense, but like Mbessa ult just goes to the end of it. So like if Varus is at the very end of it, Mbessa will land there. So you better kill her in time. Then you've got the Trist jump coming from a side, Diana coming from an angle where Khan's doing something. But I mean like I really like JPJ's comp this game. Like I am a big fan. Because one of the nicest things about, even though he's an immobile AD carry, is that because Varus also has his R, if somebody does get to him eventually, he can just R him and then walk away or just kill him. And we've seen so many times this season
Yes.
where somebody on Varus just deletes somebody.
That is true. That is very true.
But it always goes down to execution and setup. If you do not set up the dragons well, and if you do not actually group, it doesn't matter how much TC or zone control you have, Varus can just die. Like, just die. Especially if it's just like him and Leona are the first one setting up and Vi's like on an angle or Set's trying to get a cool angle. Maybe Galio's trying to push a wave and will totally ult there. Like, it's all about snap decisions. And if your snap decisions aren't fast enough, it can look a bit rough.
Yeah, what was it? It was last week, 2 weeks ago. We had a someone was playing Varus, but they were, in my opinion, too much not grouped in the mid game
Hmm.
and became free money for a very long time. So I wonder if that's also a possibility or a worry.
It can be, but it does seem that the AD carry for JPJ does like to group. He does, or they like to group. Male feminist, I believe, is their AD carry.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm sure I'm good on that one. But anyway, I really like JPJ's comp. As much as I think the trend of Cat Cowboys being undefeated could continue, and it can continue series wise, I think JPJ drafted so well this game. I think they're going to take it. What do you think? You think Varys is going to die?
Hmm.
You think Cat Cowboys
I
too good?
So this is the second JPJ series I think I've actually got to see, and they didn't look good. The one I did see,
Mm-hmm.
the like I said, well, like you said, it comes down to execution. But I think if everybody performs perfectly, yes, they have the better comp. But
I mean, they were one team fight away from winning last game.
that's true. That is very true. I'm still upset that they didn't get the Dragon Soul. I don't quite. Well, I mean, I understand, but I don't understand. Um, yeah, no, you make a good point. So yeah, I would say then, like I said, in a vacuumish, I absolutely love their comp. It
Mm-hmm.
does have all of the utility, which the second best CC is CC. The first, of course, being death. So yeah, no, I agree with you. It's just that I believe that Cat Cowboys could also just turn
Stun.
this into a
Could
super
stun.
dive fest and
I agree, but man, that's a lot of CC on the side of JPJ. Like, because you've got Verisol, you've got ViQ, Ult, Leona, Set E, Set R, Galio W, Galio E. It's so much. And what are you gonna do? Like rocket jump some, like like ult someone away on Trist, like Mbessa ult, I guess, Diana ult. Rakan ult. They're all. A lot of these are also super conditional. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not always gonna want to Trist ult someone away. An Mbessa ult can lead to your own death. Diana ult, sometimes people could just flash out of it or you just miss. And then Rakan, against a set like Galio, like it's really hard to get that backline access.
that is true. That is very true. Well,
But
we will
Cat
see.
Boys are good. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to break while we're in spectator delay, and we will see you guys soon. Do you have it at 5? Do you have it at 5?
I am still loading in.
All right, all right, all right.
Still spinning.
Just take some time. Don't worry, I hid the time controls, so it's, it's not spoiled on stream.
That is very smart.
How's the loading screen now? Frostbite is
there we go.
melting. Tell me when you're at 5.
5. Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. 6, 7, 8,
Yep.
9, and we're good to go. And we've got game 2 coming in here with JPJ versus Cat Cowboys. Will JPJ be the first to prevent the win streak of Cat Cowboys from continuing? Remember, it technically only takes a game to stop one of the streaks. That's just how good Cat Cowboys are playing this season. We're at the halfway mark. They went against other top of the table teams and they just don't lose.
Yes. Very dominant early showing. We are going to get a 5 point though. Nobody's going to do anything too fancy, at least to start. Could maybe. I don't know. I assume you're not going to start taunt there if you're Galio.
Because like the thing is like maybe if your jungler is like super damage oriented, but all Vi can do is auto. So we're probably going to see a Q here. Maybe we'll see an auto from Vi. Like Vi doesn't even get an auto. If you go E, if like it's kind of playable, but you can't really go like anything else on Vi. Otherwise, your clear just hurts so much. They do get a deep ward over here on the red. We do see Cat Cowboys pretty much technically winning the vision war early, able to at least see both entrances of the side of JPJ as well. And the only ward that we've got for JPJ is a defensive one.
Yes. That said, both junglers starting on their red quadrant. A very nice Q poke through there from the Lucian and the double auto.
Getting to press the attack proc going.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, a lot of poke coming out here through the Lucian. Definitely super well played as well. Not even missing a single CS with all that trade in. We're going to see them constantly just trading back and forth here. The Guardian being procced as well. Another Q landing onto Male Feminist. And yeah, this Lucian already being piloted extremely well. They should get the level 2 very shortly. We're going to see them probably be respected.
There's level 2. There's a jump in from Ether. Oh, no, not the level 2. They were an auto on a minion away.
Yeah, I think he canceled it.
But they are going to get the crash. They are already up a... Well, I don't know. Depends on how much he can get off of there.
Ooh,
That is going to be the level 2.
One of my favorite things that Vi did just now, which is what I have done on other champions, is, or at least I've done before, depending on my plan in the jungle, is that she purposely made sure not to take a raptor camp or be spotted on that ward because she didn't want to be known on which direction that she might go, or even looking for like an earlier gang top, because right now they don't really have like a good point on, like a good key in on pretty much where she's at. They could have seen her walk bot initially, but even then you're pretty much just assuming that she will go top. We do still see that Linian has the ward. Oh, I just realized that Lakey is not even he's subbing this game as well. This is back to Linian.
Yes.
And we're seeing a lot of trading happening in the top lane.
There's going to be a knockup onto Leona. Leona is going to get taken low. Linian is going to flash away, dash away, barely surviving the red buff burn. Yeah. That said, Arok is having exactly as much fun as you would expect of Galio into Tristana early.
Oh yeah, this is not a fun matchup at all. You pretty much just get what you can get. That's about it.
Tristana already up 15 CS. That is a teleport from Linian coming back in. Is going to try to get on the Tomato. Tomato is going to pull him away, push him away. A little hard to tell, but that is going to be the taunt coming out from Arok onto Ibis. Ibis trying to get the damage back. Is going to get the explosive charge. Is not going to be enough. Does still have the rocket jump, though. So is just pushing in, is already up 15 CS, and the Diana is hanging out in bot side.
Diana also up a lot of farm as well, able to go ahead and steal away the camp that was untaken by the Vi. Just gonna go ahead and reset and keep camp sequencing as well, assuming that the gank's not gonna go ahead and work bot, not spotted as well, so they're not really sure where the Diana is at, which actually really helps the Lucian and Rakan pretty much zone Varus off of this wave pretty much. I don't think he's really going to lose anything out of this zone considering the state of the minions. But we're going to see Vi looking like she wants to kind of sneak up in this top lane. She's really behind in CS right now, especially considering all she would have to get from bot side is the Krugs. We're going to see the set continue to trade pretty hard onto Linian, but I think that Linian should just be fine. You do have the Diana in the area as well, and there's a pretty good chance that if Set doesn't play this well, that Diana might be able to find an angle considering his ward is going away. But smartly enough, he does replace it the second it goes down, or at least he walks into the bush
Still
and just
might get
spots
caught. Chat is saying I'm echoing.
Your echo? What would make you echo?
If you have system audio and Discord audio as separate sources, it'll do that sometimes.
Yeah, I do. And I think you're going through my mic. Let me see if that's the gain a bit.
Oh, the back is interrupted from Ether, and that is going to be the entrance from floor. Zaki is coming back here, but I think they're going to be able to get away. Steel and Ether live. No summoners used. The exhaust from floor was used on the other side. I'm sorry. It said I saw AKE blank blank Y, and I was like, oh yeah, Lakey's on both teams now.
I'm curious.
Just hanging
why
out.
it's coming through my microphone. I don't really get that.
Oh, you're mad quiet now.
Yeah, I was trying to change my gain because I figured that you were just
Oop. Linian is going to get pulled in, is still attacking. That's it on the other side. It's going to be the dragon taken. Oh, the slam goes down, and that is going to be first blood for Tomato. Ether hanging out around mid lane. It is a Chemtech Drake, and it will be a Hextech Drake. So, Soul. What will Soul be? Azcat Cowboys are able to take the first of the grubs. Ward's getting put deep by Ether. A little bit of an advantage there. Well, kind of from Still Myself. Comes back with a BF sword. It is going to be the boots and the longsword and the pickaxe for male feminist. But a plate as well for Still Myself does get hit with the piercing arrow, though. Ether is now nearby.
Okay,
But
I think
the
I was.
lead continues to expand for Nate Babe. Some of it being the grubs, but is up functionally 3 camps. Oh, no, 22, not 12. Math is hard.
I'm very curious on what my audio was set to before because I think my microphone was set to quote unquote default, and you were coming through both my desktop audio and my mic, and then now I set it to what my actual mic is, and I don't think you're echoing anymore.
They're saying you're only in the left ear now,
Dude, what the heck?
but I'm not echoing, I think. Ether does hit 5, is fishing for floor. It's not going to find him. Still Myself does hit 6, does dash in. That is going to be the dash in. Male Feminist forced to use the barrier. Both bot laners for JPJ taken down below half health. Linian trying to get on Tomato. Tomato is going to use the... I hate that all those things rhyme, so I'm never sure. It is the Haymaker. The Facebreaker is the ult, right?
Yeah.
No, the Showstopper is the ult. Facebreaker is the pull.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, but it's going to get the Facebreaker there and going to get the Haymaker, but it is going to go into one of Linian's 8 shields. Shout out, Riot. But Male Feminist has done a good job staying fairly even in this lane, considering the bully ability of Lucian. Ibis forced to rocket jump away, is up 23 CS. Does have a call. Linian getting a little trade in there, but is going to walk away, is going to get pulled back in, is going to get slammed, and is going to go down Tomato with another solo kill up in. That Cowboy is at least through the early looking fallible. The Dex coming in from the bot lane of JPJ, whereas Cat Cowboys bot lane is going to. It looked like they were going to freeze. Now they're going to fast push it in. But I don't know that this crashes in time. They're going to look to get their back off. It does not crash all the way, so they're going to have to take another wave.
Okay, I think I was able to fix it, but
You sound super good now. Fair enough. Airlock using the Justice Punch in. I'm sure one of them is going to say something. Okay. Uh-oh. They haven't said anything yet, but there's going to be a jungle fight. It is going to be Zakeki and Nate Babe. Nate Babe is just running him down. However, Fleur is going to be here first. There is no bot lane. That is going to be the Galio ult as well, and the Varus ult. That's going to be the exhaust, and that's going to be Feats of War going to JPJ. And that is going to be Ibis going down as well. They are able to take 2 down there in the bot lane. When the dragon spawns in 40 seconds, though, the junglers will be back up. But very well done getting 1 feat, and we have an even game despite the giant CS lead. Oh, he says he can't hear you now. Yeah. Male feminist running away from the culling.
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Oh.
Hopefully they can hear me.
Yes.
Okay,
says,
we're
yes.
safe. All right. Okay, that's stupid. It defaults the same as the setting anyway, so I don't get why that's not going. But everything is now working. JPJ is looking fantastic. Unfortunately, still not having a gold lead despite being on Fortress.
And they are going to lose the grubs, so there is going to be 6 grubs on the side of Cat Cowboys with the
Really
Tristana.
good
That does,
Yep.
yeah, that does give you that option where you just never opt into a team fight, and Tristana's a side lane. That said, I don't know if you can, because Tomato is not weak.
No, I definitely.
Tomato does
agree
get the
with
pull in, and Linian is just out here.
that. And a second Drake already coming through from the side of JPJ. They are on track to have an extremely early soul.
Yes, and it is going to be an Ocean Soul, which would be great for them.
Ocean Soul. When is Ocean Soul bad, man? Like, I swear, Ocean
That's
Soul just feels. Besides maybe like the Hextech Soul, it feels like one of the most busted souls to ever deal with because nobody ever dies, and we are going to see.
Lydian is forced to flash away. He's trying to use the dashes to get away. Trying to get away to Diana. Diana is nearby. Is not spotted. Is Tomato going to be okay? Tomato gets pulled in. Is going to get perfectly executed, and that is going to be the haymaker. They'll go down. Nate Babe still trying to keep him. That is going to get the shutdown kill on the other side. Ether running away. That is going to be the ult coming in from Flourish. Still myself trying to run interference. Is going to be dashing away. That is going to be the culling going down. Is going to take Zakeki pretty low. Ether under tower trying to survive. Rocket jump from Ibis. Ibis going to get some damage, but that shutdown gold going over to Nate Babe. Very, very useful. Tomato was looking to run amok. I don't have a tomato pun for that. I'll think of it while we keep this game going. Killer Tomatoes? You remember that?
I've got one.
I don't know. I might be.
I've got one in my.
I might be too old. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That used to be a thing when I was young.
I think I remember that.
It was a cartoon in the early '90s. Again, dating myself. I'm sure it was a movie as well, but I only remember the cartoon.
Wasn't that
but yes,
VeggieTales or whatever?
that might be it as well.
And we're gonna see Vi coming out here as well. They're able to get some of the cooldowns out of Lucian pretty much, but they're not really able to get the last little bit. The Vi ult not quite up, and instead
there's gonna be the charm. That is gonna be Galio entering. No, Galio was stopped. Ether is gonna be able to dash away, and Male Feminist is gonna be able to get the kill. Oh my God! Steal Myself goes down as well. The barrier for Male Feminist just enough. The ult from Ibis did interrupt the grand entrance, but it does not matter. That is 6 kills. No one died. Hero's entrance. Grand entrance is the other guy with an entrance. We really need to talk about ability naming. I know I harp on this every time, but
I can't wait till they make a new champion. It's gonna be called like Big Entrance.
it's gonna be they're gonna have the last entrance. Nate Babe is fighting Zakaki. Nate Babe is up 3 levels. Is going to be forced to flash away, though. There's 3 members here. That's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to get taunted. Is in the middle of the rest of them. Nate Babe is going to go down as well. Zakaki's going to be able to get the kill.
JPJ is bloodthirsty this game.
Yeah, they are. They're a little salty, I think, after how last game went, how it ended.
I don't think that for sure.
So
We're going to see the Invested going forward here. And
gonna get slammed into the tower, gonna get pulled back in the tower again. Does have infinity shields, so stays alive for a little while. Is not gonna be able to get Tomato in the solo kill though. Tomato now, I think is actually going to. Yeah, you might want to be safe there, Linian, because there's a Vi coming through. That is gonna be Tomato getting the pull in, and that's gonna be the kill. Yeah, I did warn you. I did warn you, and that is gonna be the ult coming out, and I don't think you're going anywhere. Oh my god.
Just sent back to spawn, and so far, like, it's so crazy. I keep going, man, JPJ, they're smashing. Look, more turret plates, man, first turret, and like, it's not. It is just now 1,000 gold lead.
That is mostly based on the jungle mid CS.
Oh yeah, because we've got about a 1,400 gold lead in the top lane. We have a 1,200 gold lead, I believe, in the jungle for the side of Cat Cowboys. Also an 800 gold lead for Trist, and then in the bot lane we have a 900 gold lead, which is actually a lot less than you'd expect.
Yeah, that part is surprising. You would think Male Feminist would be up at least a BF sword's worth of gold with 4 kills and an assist. That's kind of tough.
Mm-hmm. But we do see the dragon starting to come up here. JPJ isn't really in quite the best of position quite yet. They're not able to get the scuttle as well. Diana just able to sit there, and instead we're going to go ahead and see them start to try to go in on the Trist here.
Ibis is able to get the rocket jump off in time, get it buffered. That is going to be the ult coming out from Leona. Is not going to be enough to stun Nate Babe. Leona is going to be forced to back with 12 seconds to the dragon. That might be tough. Also no ultimate.
But Cowboy is just going top, baby.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't get that, because I'm not gonna lie. I wish a team that I was playing against did that. It seems like they're still gonna be able to go get the dragon. I guess because like JPJ was assuming that they were getting dragon, so they're going for the Rift Herald instead. This is gonna make Diana walk all the way back down the bot lane and get the dragon secured. So at the very least, they are not behind the sticks for that timer. But I do still question the fact that they just walked top.
Yes, like the chickens will still be there, and even if they're not, that buys you another 12 minutes, another 6 minutes.
Yep.
Like that. Okay, I mean
that's fine. Vera's kind of going to check to see where the Diana is, just in case. Not wanting to get 3-man dove here. Is able to try to steal at least one of the small rugs, I think, but doesn't really get too much.
Looks like some shenanigans is afoot, though. We see both mid laners hovering down towards the bot lane. The Galio is level 11, so has the slightly updated range on the ult. I don't think can reach all the way to bot lane from mid lane yet, though. So did walk by. We do see Zakaki hanging out in the mid lane. Both junglers nearby.
And they know the Vi is there with the ward on the Raptors.
Diana is getting pinged out as well. Vi is going to get tagged with the Q and dash away. Ether hanging out in the bush, just trying to pressure. The thing that the worst part, I think, for Cowboys is you have a Lucian, or 18 minutes into the game, your Lucian does not have a lead. And they have a very strong set.
Yeah, very
basically
strong set.
Meaning
super strong Varus, and and the set's only gonna get stronger from here and harder to kill.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. It's hard to bully a bully. Very hard to bully a bully. I don't even know a good VeggieTales reference in this instance. Ether, though, is going to get stunned, is going to dash away. Bob the Tomato's always so, like, the reserved one, so he doesn't have any cool, like, you know? He doesn't... Bob didn't...
Maybe.
From VeggieTales.
It's been a while, for sure.
Bob didn't have any.
Oh, and then
Oh
it seems
no,
like
Ibis.
Triss kind of waited a little bit too long, but they're able to get.
Yeah, that is going to be the
everything out.
on the male feminist, and that's going to be everything used on the ether. Ether is going to go down. The culling is going to come through. Culling is not going to be enough. So LaFleur is going to be able to get this done. Steal myself trying to get away is going to be forced to flash and cleanse. Triss lived there. I don't know how. We'll just have to take your word for it.
Vi didn't buffer like with her ult, which is kind of surprising because you usually just follow up the Triss with that.
Uh-oh.
I think
Aerox
Dario thought
does
that he
not-
had mana.
Yeah, Tomato is in the middle of all the friends. Is going to slam down the Diana. Diana is going to survive, though, but now everybody's on to Zakeki. Zakeki trying to get away, as well as Tomato. Tomato may go down, depending on what the cooldowns are for Linian. Linian is going to be able to get the kill on the bottom side. There was a tower that was taken. The Rift Herald was dropped mid, but everybody walks away in the bot lane, at least. Arrow teleports back, but that tower is not long for this world. That is going to be Linian onto Arrow. Arrow is going to dash in, though. Zakeki is nearby. The charm, or not,
It's kind of
the taunt
interesting
not going to
going
land.
for this at all. I don't really.
Oh
think
my
they have
goodness!
a
Why
team
are you
for
still
it.
doing this? Ibis is going to get knocked up. They're trying to kill the Galio. Galio is going to survive. Ibis is super low. They are going to get the pull back on the Zakeki, though. Zakeki is going to live just barely. Linian is going to go down as well. That is a double kill, chasing after the Vi. Wow.
You know, it's
Listen.
like, I expect with the way this game's been played, 12-2 doesn't sound like there's enough kills.
That is true. That is very true.
We're
But-
gonna see them start the Otacon up here on the top side, and I don't think
Yeah.
they're just definitely not in anywhere near a position to be able to stop this. And it's just so hard. Like, I mean, Lucian already doesn't scale. You just kind of have a Bloodthirster build. So at this point, it's just so awkward for him to pretty much play this game.
Yeah, I mean, did get that tower bot lane, so, you know, may also wind up being a side lane Lucian.
Reset. Okay, so this is actually interesting because of the early game going a bit slower than expected, despite like both teams' best efforts to just be bloody as heck. We do see the voracious Otacon that does have the pseudo Guardian Angel, where they have like the lower respawn times and stuff like that. And we're gonna see Galio kind of overstay here.
They are going to get the knock. Oh, no. Galio sidesteps, very nicely done, but there are still just multiple people here. They are going to get the perfect execution on him, the public execution, but he's going to at least go back to base with 20 seconds left. He's going to be up in 5:15. Ibis does get the reset, does still get hit with the Haymaker, but Galio will not be available
Using the Mbessa ult
to
was
be
so
physically here.
interesting there because, like, I mean,
Oh,
you're not going to have that for the team
Mbessa's
fight.
Mbessa's still
ults,
alive,
though.
but
A lot of ults burnt from the side of JPJ for sure. We're going to see Tomato go in immediately, and Tomato, he doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit if you auto, and he just kills him under the turret.
I like that. I like that. But yeah, it does look like either way, it is going to be the Dragon going over to JPJ.
Well, it's going to look like
Oh,
Diana's going to attempt to go
Hayden
ahead
is
and
going
go
to go
kill
in,
for
but that
this.
is going to be the Galio coming out as well. Is he going to be able to smite it? Maybe he's going to be able to smite it. That is at least going to be the Dragon. Why did you go back in? You had it. Still myself is going to be able to proc a GA, and that is going to be the only thing he gets. Dies for it. I mean, it is 200 gold, I guess, but like, why though? You didn't need to. You got what you came for.
I mean, this man is desperate for some gold. He's looking at the other 80 carry, 803. This man's 030. He wants some money, any money. And he wasn't the one who got it. I believe Diana was the one who was able to secure it.
I mean, there's definitely a VeggieTales episode about the pursuit of money. Okay? There's a VeggieTales episode about the bunny.
And hey,
Okay.
and it's about the pursuit of that. You know what Steal Myself was going for? The pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, he did not find it.
That's Kid Cudi. That's a whole different genre of entertainment there, friend. Okay?
I looking at this game doesn't look no VeggieTales.
They may oh god. They may need I don't even I'm gonna let that one go. But that said, we do have a 3,000 gold lead, almost 4,000 gold lead now for JPJ. So there is that.
Oh my.
Oh no!
Oh no.
You are in the bad place. That is going to be all the ultimates used, and then they're going to have one left over to take down Still Myself, a double kill for Floor, and now the teleport comes in from Galio. Looks like they are looking to. There's no tower in the top lane.
Man,
There's no inner tower. Tomato is just going to walk him down. And there is no way Lydian can defend this. This is looking like it's going to be just an inhibitor.
You know, I feel. Oh, we're gonna see another kill actually coming out here. They might try to push for a little bit more if, like, for example, one of them decides to go ahead and tank the minions. There's not really anybody to stop them. See, you could tell that the side of Cat Cowboys was afraid they were gonna end there, but instead we had Galio reset. I would have liked to see them forcing an end there. I actually completely think they could have won the game.
No, Ibis jumps in. Ibis is gonna get taunted. Ibis is gonna get knocked up. He is getting damage back, but you don't do enough. That is a lot of armor.
Oh, what's he away? Oh my!
No, baby. Oh, what was that?
Just walk home.
You were out. I'm gonna think maybe he thought he had flash and fat fingered it or something.
Maybe.
But I don't know what he teleported to. It wasn't something nearby, so that wasn't it. And that is gonna be Tomato onto Steal Myself. Oh, he is going to go down. Lydian is nearby. They're trying to preserve this tower, but I don't think that's going to be enough. On top of which, Nate Babe is going to be spotted out. They are going to get the knock-up, though, onto Zakeki. Zakeki's going to ult out. There's going to be the Galio coming out. And that is... Oh, Nate Babe is going to go down. Male Feminist is going to get another kill. Zakeki's going to get one as well. No one survives.
This is honestly one of the most dominant games that I think we've seen, like, this whole season in BTL. Like, even not taking account for matchups, we do see Tomato just not carrying it. Oh, still gets the solo kill on Mbessa.
Oh my god, that is. I don't know what you can do in that particular instance, other than not take that fight. That said, that gold lead is now a gold lead. It is no longer. It's negligible.
Yeah, from gold lead to gold gap. We're going to see JPJ pretty much just completely take over this game. It just seems completely unplayable for the side of Cat Cowboys. I think at this point you almost start talking draft for game 3.
Well, the good thing about Fearless is you cannot do this again.
Yeah, the best part about Fearless is when you get slammed this hard, you're like, they don't have those champs no more. Think about that. You know?
We don't have to deal with this anymore.
And we won't draft the same way because we don't have those same champs either. So, like, it's a win-win.
Still Myself might be in trouble. Floor trying to chase him off of the blue buff, and they are going to be successful. Steel is going to run along.
Yeah, and, like, we're just going to see them pretty much slowly just choke out Cat Cowboys. And we should see them on route to pretty much, like, their first loss.
Tomato using the Haymaker as a zoning tool. That said, the dragon is going to be up in 10 seconds.
Looks like
that is going to be the culling coming out from Steal Myself. Oh, yeah, there's two of them in the mid lane, and no one's there to answer.
I'd be careful about in the mid lane, though. But it's only Mbessa and Rakan really answering. I would have liked to see Cat Cowboys pretty much try to, like, you know, just kill the two people in the mid as much as possible. They need the numbers advantage anywhere they can get it. Instead, they're just kind of going a little bit too slow.
It is now. They're trying to get the knock up on the Feminist. Oh no, none of the things work, and that is going to be Galio going in right after Triss goes in, and only one of them comes back. It's going to be Galio. Male Feminist goes legendary, gets a couple of kills, and now I think we can discuss Game 3 because Game 2 looking very JPJ-ish.
Yep, and it seems like Cat Cowboys' undefeated season comes to an end here, Week 5. JPJ looking absolutely phenomenal, a kill per minute, and then the game at 28 minutes. Ah, man, Cat Cowboys talked about how they know how to close out a game. Well, they closed that one out the wrong way.
that is very, very true. Was that an ego draft, maybe?
I think it was a bit an ego draft. I think part of it was just they were like trying to answer in kind of the wrong ways with like basically like it's when you kind of look a little bit too much into certain things, right? Where you're like, yeah, dude, just slam me Trist. It counters Galio. It doesn't matter if the comp's bad. Like, You know what I mean? Like, oh, we need an AP jungler. Give me Diana. But then Diana synergized with nobody on their team. So it felt like people were kind of picking for their roles and their advantages in said roles. And yeah, it's just gonna go down on the side of JPJ. I'm gonna go ahead and send it to a break while we finish out which side each one's gonna go ahead and do for the draft. And we're back with the draft starting again.
I
Oh,
can't
man.
join the lobby.
And you can't join the lobby.
Yeah, I just keep getting tournament code invalid. I closed all of Riot things, logged into a different account. We're still struggling.
What's your name again? You added me, right? No, someone else added me.
I am on old sad boy now. Just regular spellings.
What's the hashtag? What's the pound?
Probably NA1. Yeah,
You said
NA1.
regular spellings? It didn't. It says player not found.
Hang on.
Pretty normal bands coming through. We still see the Yasuo band as well. The Ari first pick. Pretty expected. Pretty meta.
Yeah, very much not wanting Ibis to have Yasuo. I understand.
Yeah,
I
heavily
mean,
understand as well.
just games without Yasuo are always preferred.
I mean, I like watching Yasuo, so like, by all means, watching isn't that bad.
Yeah, but if I have to play it, if you can just tell me there will be no Yasuo, I won't be sad. There's
True,
like
true.
5 champions. I'm just never. My team, other team. It's fine. Just no. Yasuo is on that list.
Sure. So.
I sent it to you.
You did?
My name.
Do you do it in caster chat?
Yeah.
Did you get that one?
There we go. Success.
All right. If I'm the side of the Cat Cowboys, you just do tanks. You see Jin, you're like tank. Tanks. You're not gonna have fun. Tanks. An early Mundo is pretty interesting. I wonder if it's a jungle Mundo, considering how early it's picked, or at least a flex pick. Because kind of just choosing a Mundo straight up B2 is pretty risky, I'd say. If it's gonna be a top lane.
I'm
Shyvana.
Ooh.
Huh.
Not a Shyvana fan, personally.
I don't mind too much, but one of the issues that I currently have is like, yes, Ashe is CC, but she is not all of the CC. You have to get a little bit more crowd control than your moniker to win these games.
Yes. I agree, but also
Xerath Jin.
Yeah. See, I don't like champions with conditional entrances.
See, I agree to that, and that's why I feel like you can make up for those champions by utilizing elsewhere. I just don't understand doing Mundo Shyvana because it like defeats the purpose of the flex. Because I don't think there's any way we see Shyvana go top here.
I was just thinking that the other day. I remember like that whole season where Shyvana top was
Shyvana, Mundo, Renekton every game, right?
Yes.
Every game. Yeah, I don't know. This draft is interesting. Honestly, this is a very solo queue draft from the side of Cat Cowboys from what I can see. Because this is just what like you lock in Ashe and your teammates just lock in Mundo and Shiv, and you're like, well, at least I have CC.
That is very true. I do wonder. I assume it's going to be a Xerath mid, but
It could be a support because
support.
the Jin Xerath is definitely a well-known and well-hated bot lane to play against.
Absolutely. Absolute hell.
It's super fun. Super fun. Hate playing against it.
It is straight the worst experience you've ever had, especially if you were unfortunate enough to lock in a melee support early.
Mm-hmm.
You're just sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm just going to cry. There's just nothing like if I don't get a level 2 engage successfully, I'm going to spend the rest of this next 15 minutes.
And we're seeing a rumble. See, I can see the vision of JPJ. I do not understand the vision of CC. Like,
wait, but
What is the
Rumble.
question? Rumble top against Mundo.
I feel doesn't Mundo enjoy that matchup?
I think people used to kind of play it, especially with the old Mundo, who got stacking magic resist, but I don't think it's quite as good as it used to be. Finally, some crowd control coming out of the side of Cat Cowboys. Rel coming in here. Rel's always super fantastic. Multiple shields to break on the side of JPJ and can easily turn fights with 5-man stuns for sure. And then a Nazir. I still don't really get the Mundo Shyvana, but maybe they're going to make me eat my words. I just don't. I guess it's really the Shyvana. But the early pick Mundo is still very weird to me.
I don't like it because I feel like you still technically didn't get a single counter pick for anyone, really. Like you didn't get a single I know the matchup I'm playing into for anyone except jungle.
Yeah, I was about to say you might have gotten a counter matchup, I guess, like for like mid support technically. And we're gonna see the Nico, so that is probably Nico mid is what I would assume, and then Xerath support.
Okay.
It could still go the other way, obviously, because
yeah, that's what I'm like. But what if it's Nico mid? Like, we haven't seen Nico mid in a while, but considering the damage we've seen from Nico supports, I feel like Nico mid could still do some work.
Honestly, it makes more sense for like I would say Xerath to go mid because I think Xerath does actually pretty well into Azir usually because generally people have previously countered Azir using poke mages. Stuff like Vel'Koz is pretty much the premier like Azir counter. Meanwhile, I feel like Nico might struggle a bit into Azir depending on how the game goes. I just don't really know if either of them really want to necessarily play into Rel, but both of them can poke Rel out.
Yes. Which again, why? I mean, I get why, but at the other hand, why?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, overall, it looks like it'll be a fun game. We haven't really seen Shyvana played for a while. Azir, always super fun to watch. Same with Rel. Then you've got the same for the Equalizers, the Nico ults, the Jhin Xerath combo. Cataclysms are always fun. I'm not. I want to say I lean towards JPJ for sure because I just think their comp makes more sense, and I think they can handle things. But overall, I don't really know if they necessarily also have like the tankiness, depending on how like the game could go later.
Who questions my ability?
I would go with maybe. I'm not a fan of the Rel pick, knowing that you are gonna have likely Jhin Xerath or Jhin something.
I
feel like
I
the
would have
Rel
liked
pick.
Nautilus, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, Rel having to actually physically be within 600 units to do stuff is gonna be not fun.
But they did
for
need
Rel.
CC. They did need more crowd control for sure. So if they
Oh
felt
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
if they felt like that was just their go-to, I understand it because you got to think about it. Like Poppy's gone, Rakan's gone, like Galio gone, Set gone,
Nautilus
Leona
is gone. Yeah,
No, Nautilus
yeah.
is still up, I believe.
Or not Nautilus. Yeah,
But Braum
you
is
said Leona.
gone. So
Yeah.
like it's pretty much like the choice was between like Nautilus or Rel. I would have probably preferred it. Technically Maokai is still up as well. So it really just comes down to comfort, and I think that's pretty much where we're going. And so far it does seem like people are going as we'd expect. Like I guess the B2, B3, Mundo top, Shyvana jungle is the play. I don't know if it is the play, but it is their choice. I think the comp from JPJ just makes sense in my head. And then we do see the Xerath actually coming out in the mid lane. So I think that pretty much spells the end of the flexes. We will see a Nico support. Really fun. Super looking forward to seeing it. I want to see how Floor, pretty much how she pilots Nico. I am a big fan of watching Nico. Again, another one of those, hate to play against it, love to watch it be played. Because it's like, counting minions, annoying as hell.
Yes, and or if you're like, the worst part is if you get to a wave late and you don't know if you lost a minion or not, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just a stacked wave, and then you get Nico ult, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and is the Nico ult, and somebody hops out of a bush, and you're just like, I hate it here. Like you're just like, this is a stupid mechanic. I hate it. Ironically, it's still probably the most reasonable disguise mechanic Riot has put into the game. It's just that if you don't know, you will never know, and then you're dead. But we should be able to. I want to wait just to make. I don't remember if it's 40 or 20, just to make sure there's no shenanigans afoot. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any shenanigans. I think this is pretty much as what we expect. Um, I don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to this game, but I'm going to go ahead and put it to a break while we wait for the 3 minutes for spectator delay. I think we pretty much said all we can say. Very interesting comp from the side of Cat Cowboys, and let's see what happens. Showing off all the behind the scenes stuff. Are you stopped at 5, old sad boy?
I am.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Put the scoreboard here. Time control's gone. And 3, 2, 1, go. 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yep.
10, and we're good to go, and we're off to the races. The first game 3 from Cat Cowboys, and they do a very interesting comp and response.
You know, I was just seeing in his last however many games, Chovy is like 42-0-64, which is kind of how Cat Cowboys felt until last game,
Oh yeah.
where it was just like, you know, that's ridiculous. That should not. It shouldn't work that way. But Chovy did not die. Cat Cowboys did lose.
Yeah, no, it's going to be extremely difficult. I don't know. I really just favor JPJ in this, but again, execution is everything.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yep, the level 1
Little
from
Vadery.
the level 1 from JPJ is not really that strong. It's really just going to be a bunch of slaps. But we do see Mana Flow Band.
Yep. Airrock already ahead.
Always down for the Mana Flow Band procs.
Especially because it'll almost be back up by the time you need to use your ability again on the minions. Yep. Airrock already plus 10 mana. That said, maybe some shenanigans afoot here. Floor is going to get CC'd, is going to be forced to dash away, is going to have to use the heal immediately. Wow. Cat Cowboys. They said, you know what? We might have to get a little cheesy here. We'll take it. I'm looking. Looking to see if I see anything too weird. Linian and Tomato fighting. Tomato is. Oh, he harpooned a minion. The minion got in the way. Linian now just autoing him. Is going to get roasted, but that is a power shot. Oh, Tomato is taken very low. Linian will, of course, get way more health back too. That said, that flame spitter do be spitting flames.
True, but it has been heavily nerfed for the lane phase, like over and over again, from like the dominance of lane that pretty much Rumble has constantly.
Even then, does get the wave to crash at least. Is going to look to get a ward here in the river, make sure he's not about to get ganked by Shyvana. Shyvana is also possibly going to get spotted on the blue buff. Oh, Lakey is wanting you to zoom out a bit. I don't remember what the key bind is. I always mess it up and mess up my stream. Or my screen, I should say.
Yeah, that's super zoomed in.
But we do see yet another Azir Xerath lane. Very nice flourish there. A very nice root from Floor as Ether tried to go in. Ether does take a little bit of damage on the way out, but is going to mostly be fine.
I know he's getting the scuttle right now, but I really would have liked to see Jarvan roaming down onto this bot lane. Instead, he's going to be looking mid. I just feel like this bot lane's kind of pushed up. They don't really have a ward. They just finally put a ward in river. We are going to see Zekeki actually coming in
Male
here.
feminist. Male feminist might go down. It's going to go down. That is going to be Steal Myself is going to have to use all the summoners as well, but that is a 1-for-1 with First Blood going to Male Feminist. Ether is going to walk out under the tower. The gank on top lane never came through. Tomato never started to get aggressive on the Linian with that super stacked wave, which I understand. And so Nate Babe just wasted 8 minutes.
In my heart of hearts,
like,
that's all Zekeki's fault. Like, he could have ganked before Scuttle. He could have immediately went bot after Scuttle. He could have immediately went bot after he was wrapping around.
Nate Babe is going to catch out Tomato. Tomato is going to be forced to flash away.
And kind of interesting face checking that bush there. I don't think there was really a point in actually checking that bush itself. Nico is starting to head up here. I'm not sure if Nico gets here in time.
Ooh, Nate Babe does take a tower shot. Now the cannon is here. Tomato just trying to stay alive. Is going to get Nate Babe low. Nate Babe is going to die. Did take the tower shot, but that is 2 kills for 2 kills.
And so
this
far,
is game 3.
I'm a little bit like it's one of those. I'm a little bit shook at from the other team because if Nico roams up that early, you never trust any minion. Like you're like, oh man, this Nico's a roamer. Oh no.
Yeah. And Nico comes back with blue buff, which is also annoying because
is.
she's not going to be mana gated at all and is going to have more cooldown reduction.
Yeah, it
Just
definitely helps their
very
lane phase a
frustrating.
lot because having the Nico and Jin into a lane such as like the Rel Ashe is like you're just so lacking in like DPS and damage, which is why the Rel and the Ashe will constantly have like threatening pressure on them. They pretty much need the Jarvan to go ahead and help bail them out of this lane being pushed because otherwise they should just be able to hold it here. Instead, they're finding themselves
Shyvana's
pretty
coming.
out of position here. I'm pretty sure we're just going
Male
to see him
feminist
go down.
is just going to go down. Dodge the crash down, but that was all.
Oh!
Oh my goodness! He's gonna still myself is gonna go down. That is gonna be Fates of Warfare. Fleur is able to turn the fight, and now Arok is coming through. Does have level 6 as well. Ether trying to get away. Zakeki is gonna use the Flag and Drag. It's not gonna be enough. That is gonna be Fleur is gonna miss. They are gonna get the root onto Nate Babe. Nate Babe is under tower. Arok does have the right of the arcane. Misses 2. Is gonna get stunned. Ether is going to go down. Male Feminist is gonna be able to get the kill. And that is going to be 4-2, as well as the Feats of Warfare taken by JPJ.
Man, this Nico pick is looking real good. It looks very comfortable in it. She is definitely making some plays. Like, oh my lord.
Yes, absolutely not looking enjoyable on the side of Cat Cowboys right now. And there are pings onto the objectives. The dragon is up and the grubs are up. I have always been of the belief that you should prioritize dragon if you are Shyvana, but this is the second Shyvana I've seen recently that did not.
I think it's that grubs feel good to take on Shyvana, and she can technically take down turrets a lot, but it does suck not focusing the dragons like with Shyvana because it's like you lose so much of your kit and like passive tankiness from not doing it. Plus, dragons just always feel extremely strong.
Yeah. Yep. But they only take 2 of the grubs and then walk away. But it looks like Jarvan is going to be the first to rotate bot. Tomato now with that. Ooh, still myself dodging out lots and lots of stuff. Managed to dodge out like 3 skill shots in a row. Very well done. I was going to say the Faded Ashes was helping Tomato, but then Linian started landing Qs again, and it is not. That is going to be the 3rd grub taken when Shyvana realizes there is no fight coming, but the dragon on the other side taken by Zakeki, not going to be contested.
You know what's an interesting interaction with Nico that, like, as far as I know, obviously we don't do it because it's not in our rule books, but it's basically something that the LCK does, is that you're not allowed to take Celestial Opposition on the on Nico support because of an interaction with her clone, that every time she uses her clone, it'll have the Celestial Opposition, and you can use it to slow the enemy over and over again.
I did not know that.
Yep. It's pretty interesting. I just think it's weird because I feel like champions have always kind of busted runes and items and all these kinds of things, and they've never really been banned, like Runeglaive Ezreal or like all these other interactions. But suddenly Nico can slow people with her clone, and people are like, "Oh, get that out of here, SOP." It's kind of funny to me because I just feel like there's been easily more broken interactions otherwise.
That much is definitely true. Linian trying to get away. That is going to be the trade of ults. Linian now back onto Tomato.
Okay, this should be
with
a
the
kill.
flame spitter's going to flash in. That's going to be a kill.
Yeah, at first I didn't think it was really going to be a kill, but Linian really just disrespecting Rumble. You gotta recognize that yes, you generally can fight Rumble, but if he's close to the danger zone, suddenly you do not trade autos with that man. He will destroy you on these tank picks.
Yeah. I consider myself wrong about. Well, I think he also overestimated the healing he was going to get from the maximum dosage there, because like he got the
also-
initial healing and then was like, "Yeah, I'm good," and it's like, "No, are you though?"
It's also Greedy Mundos and their addiction to Heartsteel. Tell me that Hollow Radiance doesn't change a lot of that.
That's also true. I think he was trying to catch the wave so he could get the heart steal. That is going to be the ults going out, but they are going to hit onto floor, not onto male feminist, and that is going to be the root and return, and everyone is mostly alive.
Yep, it helps that Rel wasn't really there. They're going to be looking for a dive. Nothing can really TP there in time, because I just realized that they're
Oh, there's the rights of the arcade coming in. Male feminist trying to stay alive is going to go down, and Nate Babe is going to be is going to get rooted under tower, but it's not going to matter. He's going to be able to take down floor as well.
And Cat Cowboys just back in it, still with the gold lead as well. They're looking to gun pressure off top. They should be able to zone Linian actually away from this, but he's just going to go down. Probably
Cataclysm. Yep, that is going to be a kill on the top side, and the same, or a similar measure, I should say, to what JPJ just did on the bot side, and plates are going over to the Rumble just like they did to the Ash. 2 plates for 2 plates, a dive for a dive, an eye for an eye. Something blind. Ibis, though, is going to get spotted out by Zakeki. He's going to get knocked up. Does have the ultimate, though. Just pushes him over the wall. Just send him over there. And then dashes away from floor. Excuse me. Ooh, but that is going to be Leandri's finish for Tomato. Linian does have the heart still. I do think you're right that the Hollow Radiance would have been very good here, especially because most of the damage you are going to take is going to be magic related, and there's like 8 different ranged abilities to hit you. Realistically, you should only be autoing Zakeki or Tomato, right? Like, am I wrong here?
No, I definitely agree pretty much. But like, it's just like it's just since he's melee and you've got one other melee. See, there's not even a lot of melees. I just don't like. It's people are addicted to Heartsteel so much on Mundo, and like Heartsteel has been nerfed multiple times, and it's usually supposed to be more of a niche item.
I mean, Heartsteel does feel. I mean, it is a very rewarding item, like on a personal level. Like you're like,
they made the sound effect too good. They made the sound effect too good. Tink, like you just chunk them as well.
It does.
It's so big.
Airrock is going to be forced to flash away. He's still going to get stunned, though. Is going to get
Arrow go wide.
Despite getting hit with the Fire Blast, it's not going to be enough. That is going to be a flash in from the Nico onto Nate Babe. Nate Babe is going to take a little bit of damage, but is going to be fine. The rest of the team is nearby, though. That ward is going to get spotted. It's placed directly on a blue ward. Pink ward, I should say. That said, Ether is gone. Ether is gone. Zakeki's on a killing spree. Now does Zakeki get out? Zakeki trying to cat it out is going to be fine for the moment. The clone is going to run interference. We do see Rumble rotating through as well. Linian is bot side. The Rights of Arcane coming through. Nate Babe is in trouble, and that is going to be the equalizer. And it equalized. Oh my goodness. Call Denzel.
Yep, and this is going to prevent them from getting all 6 grubs as well. They're going to be able to just immediately go back. Oh, actually, we're going to see Xerath just getting destroyed here. This should allow them to pretty much, I think, reset and then get the dragon. So we're just pretty much going to see a trade of objectives. I really doubt we're going to be able to see them do anything about it on the side of JPJ. That's just going to. This should just be a few turret plates going to the side of them, as well as dragon. It's going to be kind of interesting how this goes. Jin feels extremely vulnerable here in the spot lane, though.
Yeah, and we do see the flank already coming through from the Rel. They might just dive him. Does have cleanse up, does not have flash, but Linian decides, I don't want to do that. On the other side, the dragon still not started yet. And now Zakeki is going to have a chance to rotate through Fleur, trying to get on to steal myself, but it's not going to be enough. That is going to be first tower going over to Tomato, though, and that is going to be the boots.
The booties. So far, JPJ like definitely giving the best matchup. Obviously, the first loss to CC as well, but in every single game, you know, they're a 1-team fight away from winning game 1.
Oh, Male Feminist does not know that there's this ward behind him. Does not know that this is a bad time, and that is going to be Nate Babe going in. Nate Babe is going to actually Ibis is going to take the kill. Nate Babe now though is kind of stuck. Tomato's going to come through, and Tomato is going to roast him. Normally tomatoes are roasted, but here we are. That is a killing spree for the Rumble. We always love success from our Gundam pilots.
Oh yeah, I obviously, as I'm sure BTL can tell, a huge fan of Rumble, and this is one hell of a fed one.
Yeah, no, that Rumble already hurts. Also did get that first tower gold. Just
I won't even say maybe, is the strongest person in the game
First
from the
turret
looks
does
of it.
not give gold anymore. Only local gold
What?
per turret. Yep, it just gives the feet now.
Who decided that?
Rito, and we're
Oh, a
gonna see
very
flash out
nice flash
immediately.
from Tomato, and that is going to be the equalizer going down. The Rights of Arcade is not in range. Actually, the Rights of Arcade is being used in the mid lane as they're trying to get onto Ether. Ether is trying to get away. Is going to get stuck in the Cataclysms, trying to get away. Is going to go down. It is actually going to be the Blackfire Torch burn from Arok and not the Lance drop from the Jarvan. But a kill in the mid lane, as well as Tomato forcing Ibis away. It's going to allow him to keep hitting this tower. Might get another one. Even though Tower First Blood no longer gives you extra gold. I should start reading the patch notes again.
Patch notes, match notes. I say as they are going to completely change everything next patch.
That is true. But yeah, once I found out they were changing everything soon, I should say, I literally haven't played in like 3 weeks because I'm like, my rank isn't changing, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, there should be a thing here. Wait, no, there's not a thing. This should do something. It doesn't. But that is going to be the Rift Herald taken by JPJ, or excuse me, by Cat Cowboys, and Arok might be in trouble. Is going to get stunned up. He's never going to move. Just dock. You know what? I will say Flame Breath versus Flame Spitter. I will allow for name redundancy on things that actually make sense. Right? Like,
I think
yeah,
Rumble
okay.
needs to stop this. He can just get turned on so easily.
He is getting turned on.
Miss the red
Does have the anti-heal, but is not going to be enough. That is going to be a shutdown for the Mundo. And now the tower is going to go down as well. Cat Cowboys maybe turning us around a little bit. Actually, I shouldn't say it's maybe turning it around. Despite the kills, Cat Cowboys are up 2,000 gold.
Yep, and we got another turret coming through as well, so that should be another influx of gold coming into the side of Cat Cowboys. And yeah, they definitely do have a good bit of gold here as well. I do think the Jhin pick was specifically kind of interesting. I don't like picking Jhin early. It just because so many times it's just hard to play lane against certain opponents, especially against like Ashe and almost any other lane. It's really hard to do something, but he's not the star of this show. The star is Nico, the star is Xerath, the star is Rumble. He's there to help him out.
That is true. That is very, very true. But the help is questionable. Also, I hate collector first item when you're behind. I don't like it. Not a fan.
The funny thing is I'm only a fan if you go straight into like IE or like Lord Doms with it. I don't like it if you're going kind of going into the attack speed build. So that point it's like,
ooh, male feminist forced to flash away. Ibis is going to get away. That is going to be the knockup on to Ether just to stay alive. The right to the arcane coming through. That is going to be the cataclysm, and down goes Ibis. And now Still Myself trying to stay alive. Nate Babe on the backside does use the ult in. It does use the Dragon's Breath, Fire Breath, Dragon's Rage. Doesn't matter. Lakers in 5. Male feminist burning down.
it ain't like keeping 5, my friend. It's literally impossible.
I know. Listen. Memes over accuracy.
That was a
every day.
terrible and illegal Lakers in 5. That was terrible. That was terrible.
You got to make sure it rhymes over and over again, and then you just say Lakers in 5.
It didn't rhyme. It was because they were all flame, fire, dragon related. I know they have to rhyme. Listen, y'all are some haters. The meme didn't used to rhyme. It used to be LeBron with the cigarette. Okay.
I mean, the only one I know rhymes. With Flame Spitter, Lame Quitter, Apple Fritters, Lakers in 5.
I'll get it. I'll show you the old one. I get it. I'm old. I reference things that like y'all know, and this can't be that old. But again, it happened in LeBron's career, so it could be any time in the last 20 years.
Your meme is retired. That's the problem.
Yeah. It got like co-opted, but Ether is gonna get slowed. Is trying to get away. Looks like is actually gonna be able to get away. No, they are gonna be able to force out the flash.
And so the Atacon is up. The Mountain Drake was taken. Oh my goodness, a Mountain Soul on this team would make Jin not even a champion.
It already kind of feels like he isn't.
Fair enough.
He's a W bot, R bot. It just is very unfortunate.
Oh no, that is going to be Ibis rooted and CC'd to death on the other side. Ether is getting roasted down, is stuck in the Cataclysm, and is going to go down. Eventually, Magnet Storm does not matter. That mech is non-magnetic somehow. Don't know how. That is going to be an immune from Linian, but it's not going to matter. Floor, though, will go down. And now here comes Nate Babe on the return. Male Feminist trying to get damage back in return, but it is not going to do anything. That said, Rumble is going to be able to at least turn it around for an 8 kill. No, that was the 4th shot, excuse me. And that's going to be a shutdown for Male Feminist, who now has to fight off Nate Babe. Is going to get the trap down. Is trying to get the 4th shot. Nate Babe is going to go down. Oh, my goodness. And that is going to be a shutdown for Jin. Heard me talking shit and said no.
See, more... Uh-oh. We could see Ash go ahead and take this. I don't know if
Eric,
Jareth has a cooldown. The Ghost
has the Ghost, but like you don't have. Okay, I guess not. Does not have any of the cooldowns available to just poke the Ash. Well, there we'll poke the Ash there. That's a really. You got to be really good with your diction on that sentence.
That's very true. You know, and I know one thing that we've seen them run into so far is, especially with the Jin, it takes them quite a while to like chew through the Shyvana and the Mundo, both extremely thick HP stacking targets. So I'm very happy to see the Jin swap up his build and not just immediately go into the rapid fire cannon. I saw the dagger and I was so worried. I was like, please don't, like, you already feel like you don't do damage. Don't get a dagger and rapid fire cannon. What's the point in autoing them for 2 damage from a distance?
Oh my god, remember the static Shiv build? Please never bring that back.
No, the mosquito build?
Oh my god. People would play that over here in I Have a Day Job ELO. And I'm aware that everybody also has a day job. I just like to believe that everybody is better than me because they don't.
We did see Rumble be a lot more patient with their cooldowns, the potential buildup of the danger zone, and then keeping the ult up as well. Just able to kind of beat down the Mundo as you would expect.
Rumble is still very strong, and still myself is caught out. Is going to get CC'd. I don't know about the rest of the ults used there, but is dead. And now Ether trying to get away. Ether is not going to get away, I don't think, bud. There's just way too many things that will stop you from moving. Rights of Arcade coming in. Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem now. JPJ running over the map. Rumble hanging out in the bot lane.
Gold completely equal.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said gold completely equal.
That's... Why? This is like the 3rd game in a row where it's been like the gold is not reflective of what it looks like, but that is going to be the flash out from Floor in response to the Dragon's Descent. Oh, the Ash ult does land. That is not a clone. That is a dead Nico. That's it. Zakeki's going to go in, and they are just going to roast Nate Babe. Oh, my. Yeah.
See, that's what's interesting about the next patch, though, is the next patch will have scaling gold values for kills, with kills going up to, I believe, 420 in gold. So we should see a lot more, like, a difference in gold values from that, considering that it should be at least around 120, like, more gold per kill. And as you can tell, that alone would be at least 1,000 more, if not 2,000. So, I mean, it's going to be like 2,000 plus.
Oh, Zakeki is going to spot Linian.
coming in from the Rumble as well.
Oh, that is going to be the Cataclysm. You can CC immune all you want, but you are stuck in a circle. In a glass box of emotion, Linian. Well, actually, a glass box of no motion. And he is down, and that is a dragon being started by JPJ.
Yep, and a dragon being secured by JPJ. This is one of those things, too, where, like, I love me some Ghost on Mundo for sure. Ghost on Mundo makes you just feel like a god. But, like, when somebody chooses Jarvan, that's where sometimes you kind of just got to suck it up in most cases and just grab the flash. Because, you know, a flash could have definitely probably saved in there. But, again, like, that's just hindsight. So,
Arak, ew, okay. Is going to be safe.
I think he didn't
Yeah.
mind getting in, or that they didn't mind getting engaged on there, just because their whole team was around them. But even then, still a bit risky.
The Rift Maker now complete for Rumble. Likely going to finish the Morellos next, but that's just... I wouldn't want to deal with that as a person who plays this game. That is... So the other... Actually, I'm going to say the other thing that is that I enjoy about Zakeki most of the time, very liberal use of that Cataclysm.
Oh yeah,
A lot of times you-
hold him.
A lot of times I see Jarvans and I feel like they're saving it for like the super special occasion, and it's like, no, just get the kill. Just get the kill. Ibis is going to be forced to use the ultimate to get away, as well as the Ash Arrow coming through. Fleur might go down, is going to go down, and now the rest of the team, though, looking to turn it around. That is going to be the equalizer used, and that is going to be a flash forced out from Ether. Ibis trying to stay alive. Ibis is going to get dunked, and Zakeki Snail's trying to run away. There's going to be a teleport there as Mundo's going to finally join the fight. Mundo is going to eat 3 CCs and still be fine. Zakeki's going to go back in. I don't know about that one. The rest of the ults are down. And that is going to be a shutdown. Cowboys are now 4v3 and not
Baron
going
is
to get
up.
on the Baron.
Kind of surprised that they're not getting on the Baron here. There's nothing really that JPJ can really do about it. You've got the Mundo, you've got Ash at full HP. You know, as Shyvana, you're still chilling. I don't know. I feel like the Baron here is something you could almost force, but instead it looks like it's going to just go ahead and be a reset. I'm assuming that maybe they had extremely important items coming in here. And do you think by the 4th item, Mundo will buy a resistance item?
That means... Oh, wait, he doesn't even have resistance boots. Oh, no.
Nope. Pure HP stacking thickness.
You know, bring back the 5
I mean,
Warmog
Tom
Kench build.
All I'm saying is, if I'm Jin, I'm thankful that HP is a lot to go through. You don't really do that, but at least it's not armor and HP. And I guess we're just gonna see this Otacon just be completely uncontested. Nobody's really moving or even pinging at it. Finally, JPJ starts realizing it, but Nico's already at the bottom side.
Yeah.
A TPE's not
think
quite
they're
up for
late.
them yet. But
Oh, there's going to be a
actually kind
TP
of
from
time.
Azir. Ibis is going to make sure it does not happen. The rights of the Arcane are going to be used. Ether is going to be stuck here. Well, never mind. He's going to crash down, crash out, and leave.
I think looking for a
There's
team
gonna
fight
be-
after this is still a really good thing, but so far they're not really
Linian
able to.
is going to be... Oh, not knocked up. It's going to be out of range. Fleur is going to miss on the Pop Blossom, and everyone's going to go away.
Yep, it just seems
It looked like it was a bit of a split focus there. Some
Yeah.
of them went for the top side, some of them went for the bottom side of the fight.
I think it's because both of them didn't really want to fight too much, like they did, but then didn't. So then obviously it kind of came off a little bit conflicted. I honestly thought they were in a really good position, especially at the rights of the Arcane starting to burn some people. But this Rumble is really caught out here.
Well, multiple members are coming. Rumble does have ult, but that's not going to be enough, friend. Oh, maybe. Linian is super low, but is going to be fine. Does get the honey fruit and is going to survive. Now Fleur and Zakeki are nearby. That is going to be an ult onto Ether. Ether is maybe trapped? There's not enough damage. Not enough damage. Okay, there it is. The Q from Zakeki going to be enough. Jarvan is going to trade a top laner for support, which still not a good trade, but at least you got something back.
The thing is, though, is it can be okay, especially depending on timers, because at least your top laner does have TP.
That is true. And the dragon coming up shortly. There is a ward over the pit. I don't know if it's going to get cleared. Is not going to get cleared by Cat Cowboys, at least currently. You know, I do hate that, the Mundo passive.
Just because of free CC immunity?
Yeah, the free CC immunity, and at this point in the game, if it pops up and you pick it up, you're going to be CC immune again immediately. So
Well,
it's just like, if he moves quick enough and well enough, he's just never CC'd. Ooh,
Oh,
forces up the
flash.
flash. Rumble is teleporting in, though, and they're on the backside. Ether is going to be CC'd at first. Is going to be knocked up. There's going to be the Pop Blossom going through. It's not going to be enough, though, as Lydian is going to go right on the Male Feminist. It's going to finally get stunned, but the Mountain Drake is going to go over in the meantime. They're going to trade the top laner for the Dragon.
I would like to see them start Baron here.
Yeah, I assume you run Baron here.
It does suck, though, because Jhin is extremely low from the Mundo running in. But I think you got to try to force them to come in here, especially not having the Mundo being able to be into their face. You do have a plant, though, which is super great. They're able to start up this Baron. They should do a lot of damage to it, and I don't foresee Cat Cowboys.
Yeah, Rumble is doing a lot of damage, like, immediately. Ether is going to get a ward down, is going to get CC'd, and he is done. And that is going to be the Cataclysm used. The Flash going to be forced out there from Nate Babe, so does not have the Flash to enter back into this fight, does not have the ult as well, and they're just running interference. It does hit hard. Fleur is going to get taken super low. It's going to get taken down by Ibis, and they're going to leave the Baron. Ibis doing work there.
Yeah, honestly, with Mundo up and with how healthy they are, I could see them just turning back on Baron and kind of burning it. I guess they're just not really wanting to 50-50 it, especially with the Jarvan alive, because all in all, if Jarvan's able to sacrifice his life just to be able to get the Baron there, it's still feeling pretty good. He's going to go ahead and just do Rites of the Arcane straight on the Ashe, or at least the minion wave. Doesn't really get too much out of it. But I mean, like, you know, so far this game's still just really close. The gold lead still not even broaching 500 from each other. Soul point on the side of Cat Cowboys, which, man, it's so spooky. You almost wish you didn't give up one of those dragons, because getting 2 mountains on the side, let alone a third on top of the soul, could be so dangerous.
Ooh. Cloth armor.
Oh, the first resistance bot here on the Mundo, now officially unkillable by Jhin.
Jhin does have a mortal reminder, so we'll at least have some armor pin and stop the healing. Oh, okay. It is going to be a Bloodletters for Tomato, not going to finish the Morello Namicon. Very interesting. Little bit of a lull as I appreciate the orchestration. You know, if Riot was just like a movie and music company, they'd be batting like 750. Like, they barely miss. They barely miss. Unfortunately, their cash cow is a game where things work sometimes. I make fun of Riot too much, I think, for a person who actually enjoys the game a lot.
See, I enjoy the game a lot too, but it's like they can do so many things to just make it better so easily. So, like, it's hard. Because, like, for example, they pretty much got rid of Clash for pretty much everybody all the time. Then it's finally up for a weekend. I couldn't play it Saturday. I was locked out the whole time. My client literally froze every single time I tried to play it. And that was, like, the one Clash I was going to try to play this year so far. And I couldn't even. And I don't understand how a feature that's worked now for, like, how many years just doesn't work all of a sudden, and then they also don't have it. Shame. Just a shame.
I absolutely understand that. The amount of bugged interactions that exist, the fact that I still, on Spectator, we can't tell where the Nico is when Nico disguises. That's what inspired this, by the way. When Nico disguises, I just see 2 of whoever's on the map and have to guess which one is Nico. Why?
Oh, I'm down for that. Part of the champion. Oh, they're able to kind of catch out.
Ibis a little bit. Oh no! Nate Babe goes in and immediately gets CC'd. That sends the Cakeys on the wrong side of the map. Ether fighting off.
Oh no, the blast cone.
Fleur is going to go into the Zonias, but is going to go down, but they were able to take it. Oh, that is going to be the equalizer going down. Nate Babe is gone, but so is Male Feminist. And here comes Lydian now, and there's not enough CC to stop him. Oh, no. That is a tanky boy. Oh, wait. Tomato is going to roast him. And now Ibis is trying to get the rest of the damage off, but Ibis is going to get taken super low as well. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, Ibis. Zakaki onto Ibis now. Ibis is gonna go into the zone because Kiki is getting burned down by Steel Myself, and they're gonna be able to win the fight
And get the soul.
Cowboys. They're gonna get. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, you're right. And they get the Dragon Soul, and it's a Mountain Drake, Mountain Soul.
It's just so hard now for the side of JPJ. As you can tell, like, Cat Cowboys have already been like edging out these fights like here and there constantly, and then now you just get an extra bit of resistances on top of the shield as well. Like, for example, the Zonia is getting so much value out of the Azir. Wait, what happened to the cloth armor? I saw a cloth armor on Mundo.
There was a cloth armor. There is not anymore.
Where'd it go?
It was a temporary cloth armor. It was just one time thing. He got the Mountain Soul and said, "Nah, I don't need it no more." But you see how she's Jarvan on the map now.
Percentage resistances.
And now she's Rumble on the map. Nico's Rumble on the map. So like I thought Jarvan was rotating away from the dragon. It was Nico. Like this is frustrating to me for obvious reasons. Ultimate is gonna land onto the Nico though, but there is Tomato nearby. Root onto Ether. Ether is going to be forced to use Crash Down to escape. The Baron is up. There is posturing. That said, there are teleports from... Oh, wait, no. Eric does not have teleport. Excuse me. There's only the teleport of Tomato, but they are going to try to push them out of their jungle. Cat Cowboys clearing vision over here in the top side. But not all of it. There's actually a whole lot of vision they missed. Only covered the vision on the path they were walking. Rites of Arcane coming down. I'm not sure who he's hitting there.
I'm not really sure. Just, maybe a vibe check.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But Nico does have the Zonias completed now. We do see Death Cap starting to come in for the Shyvana. Death Cap coming in. Are you supposed to go fleet with AP Shyvana? Is that...
It helps with clear, especially because she gets a little low early on, so I've definitely seen it happen. It's definitely not, like, crazy optimal in some forms, but it's definitely a heavily used one. It just allows her to constantly, like, keep clearing on repeat. Because I'm imagining you're just, like, with all the E damage you've seen her constantly do, that you're like, why not Dog Harvest?
Yeah, she would have about 50 stacks.
Yeah.
Might actually have 50 stacks the way this game has gone.
I haven't played her AP in the jungle for a while, so like maybe the fleet is warranted. For example, like Mundo pretty often goes fleet in the jungle. So it could be the case, but yeah, I mean, I agree. I would have liked to see Dark Harvest personally. Oh, and they're just gonna go ahead and start the Baron. It seems like they just go ahead and made the call.
There's no vision?
Yeah, I know.
There's
but
no
the problem
vision.
is if Shyvana just walks up and then ults. Wait,
It doesn't matter. It's gone.
This blows my mind.
Shyvana walks up now. That's little too late. The Rites of the Arcane did keep Ashe pushed back. Ashe now has the GA. Is going to ult. Is going to hit the Nico. Nico is stunned. Is Nico going to have the ability to get away? Fleur is going to use the Fire Breath. Is going to get rooted, though. And that is going to be an escape.
Through again, though. Watch out. Oh, nope.
Oh, it hits the...
And the flash! Oh, he flashed on its own.
That's tough, buddy. That's tough.
It's a great
There's
fight.
going to be the ults coming through. Oh, no. They are going to be able to get the knock-up, though. Ether is on the backside, but there is going to be another kill. Both supports are going to go down, and now the rest of the fight happening. That is Lydian going to be able to kill the Rumble on the top side, and now Zakeki is getting kited out by Still Myself, but Lydian is going to stay safe, stay alive, and that is going to be a 3-for-2. JPJ walking away.
Honestly, I really think that ended up being super good for Cat Cowboys. It may seem bad because of how many members went down, but they were able to eliminate 2 Barons off of the side of JPJ. Not only that, but with the way that Shyvana's ult was going off and whatnot, I honestly thought it was about to be an amazing fight for JPJ. I honestly thought there was a chance that they could have aced and then actually opened up the base of Cat Cowboys, but instead the game has just continued to be stalled here. And I honestly think that it's just going to be an elder fight for the win.
It is looking that way.
Not even like barely 200 gold separate these things. I guess 400 gold suddenly.
40 minutes into the game. That is actually insane. I don't know that I've seen that ever. like ever. It's not that somebody has to stall or somebody has to make a comeback. It's that no one has had a gold lead over 2,000 the whole time. Kind of crazy.
Oh, okay. The first actual resistance item coming out of Mundo here.
Wait, does the oh no, that's right. Overlords doesn't have resistances either.
Nope. That's
Hang on.
Mundo. That Mundo
has
hurts, though.
506 AD. 506 AD.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That Mundo hurts. For sure. That could have honestly changed around a lot of these team fights because it's hard to really watch like the Mundo just kind of like chunk people with auto attacks. You just assume it's Heartsteel. But man, if it's like a Heartsteel like auto attack reset with Titanic, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I did not. Wow. 506. It's 506, Lakey. I just said it. Bro, lock in. Listen
yeah, I
to
know.
me.
He's pinging at me like it wasn't already stated. Like it wasn't already stated. Oh, the game started again. Gonna go ahead and plop it back on. I just went ahead and hit it for now. We do see Azir kind of get hit there.
Going out.
Oh, the flash though. It's so rough doing the flash into this kind of team.
He's going to use the crackdown. That is going to be, again, the Cataclysm on the Ether. That's going to be a two-person knockup, though, and Ether is going to get roasted. Steal Myself is... we get the Riot pause right as the Emperor's comes in. Steal Myself does have the GA, so may likely be alive.
But no flashes from the carries on the side of JPJ.
Oh, no. Steal Myself is going to be alive. That is going to be before it goes in. Hey, Babe is trying to get away. That might not be enough, though, and that is going to be a double kill for Tomato. And they still have the Baron on multiple members, and they are running down this mid lane now. Lenny and Steal Myself, the only members left alive for Cat Cowboys. They are going to lose the inner tower.
The Baron
are they
going to
lose the inhibitor tower?
But it does look like they're going to probably attempt to just go ahead and end this here. I would if I were them. You've got 40 seconds on there. I think you just kind of try to tank for your minions the best you can, try to end this game and get out of here. Looks like they're going to try to push forward for now. And let's see if Ash and Mundo are able to kind of go ahead and stop this. Mundo does have a lot of damage. He's able to just walk up and kill a lot of the minions. Mundo should be going down here, actually. The cannon minion's still alive, though.
And Zakeki is going to take a lot of damage. Zakeki is going to get ulted. Her tower is going to go down now. The Crash Nail comes back as Ether respawns. They are able to both prevent you got to go to the Elder right now. You got to go to the Elder right now. Bro, you got to go to the Elder right now.
Azir would be able to probably TP pretty much at the Elder. They
that's true. Ether is going to melt.
At this point, I think you just try to fight people as they come, but they're kind of like way too low, really, especially on the Rumble and the Jhin. But like the thing is,
Rumble
you cannot let them
teleport.
you just can't let them get this for free.
Yeah, if they get that Elder, all of that, basically the inhibitor time, you have to wait now because you can't fight them, and they'll just be like, okay, step up though. Okay, step up though.
Mundo has the TP as well. And it's going to be interesting.
There's a ward.
Oh, you need Zakeki here so bad.
13 seconds on Zakeki, but the Elder not being started. There is no... Well, the Equalizer will be up before a fight from the looks of things. Nate Babe going to clear the blue buff.
Yeah, I think they just didn't want to force. I think the pressure... I mean, it's 42 minutes, right? It's really hard to want to like necessarily point flip off an Infernal, but the thing is, I did think that they had a good chance of just pretty much taking it there, but instead we're gonna get another team fight here. So I'm just looking at summoners, right? And I see a flash on Ash, which is really good. Mundo pretty much has everything up. There's only a flash coming up for Jarvan. Then we're going to go ahead and see a Ghost and a Cleanse from Jhin. So basically not a lot of summoners on either side here, but we're going to see this just go into a 50-50 fight.
They're pulling it out. It is not seen. Like, the vision is just locked, and they have it stuck in the corner. They can't see it. They cannot see it. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, no. Nate Babe goes in. Nate Babe is not coming back. That is going to be Male Feminist with the kill, and now they are trying to Jhin ult anyone they can see, but they cannot spot him out. It is going to be Cat Cowboys going back into their base, maybe? Linian, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Even if you're Mundo, he can trap you. Yeah,
there it goes.
No, bro. And Mundo goes down.
Yep, and with the no resistances, they're just going through. It's kind of interesting that they're pushing through the bot lane here. I'd almost expect them to just go ahead and meet up with their Xerath and try to go ahead and end this game. They can still kind of synchronize the waves where that's going, but it does look like that Ash and Rel are looking to sneak on the Xerath here. There's a good chance they're going to be able to find him immediately flashing in, but the Ghost from Xerath coming in clutch here.
Oh.
Instead, they're kind of distracted just with the Xerath. He should be able to prevent this,
Oh,
and this is going to be Cat
the
Cowboys for
inhibitor.
his loss.
Yeah.
An immediate
play on the
rumble coming in
Xerath
as
is
well.
not going to be enough. That is going to be another Nexus Tower
And the
going
game!
down.
And
That
the
is going to
game!
be a kill. Feminist gets the kill. Not hitting the Nexus. That tower is going to come up in like half a second. They did it.
They did it! Who the heck is even the MVP?
I don't know. I mean, on game 2, Tomato. I'm not sure on game 1.
I'm gonna look at the games again. Well, because they won games 2 and 3, so.
Oh, that's right, they did. I'm trying to think. What was game 2?
Game 2 was actually Varus and Leona. Honestly, since we already went ahead and talked about this previously, right? The way I see it now is when we give the 80 carry credit, because again, even though it didn't seem Jin, wasn't able to function for a good chunk of that game. If you look at the stat line, he was able to end up doing a lot of work towards the end. 13, 5, 12. Man, it's so hard because Tomato definitely was the MVP of game 3, but Male Feminist was the MVP of game 2 to me. But I also think we should pull in both bot laners if we do the bot lane. So we could potentially do that. It's just hard. So Tomato or bot lane, what do you think? I'll let you break the tie. Either that or someone else can break the tie. I don't care. It's really hard because Tomato played super good, was super integral.
I mean, Male Feminist was still good this game.
No, I agree for sure. But
Especially
I mean, so was Tomato on set, so
I had to do bot lane.
Yeah.
You think bot lane?
Tomato did 74.5.
That's also Mundo damage. Mundo top lane damage is fake. It's all fake. It was definitely real that game, but top lane damage is fake.
He did so. He did damage to the Mundo. Though. That's
Mundo
the thing.
Mundo only built HP.
Who's the 80s? Who's the ADC in Discord?
We should pull in both bot laners because oftentimes supports don't get credit as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I know who the support is. That's the team captain, but I don't know who the. Let's just ask them. What's the ADC's name on Discord?
Oh, RADC?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do both bot laners.
Oh, okay.
Because InDefiance feels like often when the ADC gets credit, the bot lane party does not get credit. So we're gonna do both bot laners here.
Okay.
Grab them.
Hello.
How does it feel to give Cat Cowboys its first
It feels
loss?
pretty good. Honestly, because our games never get streamed, so we really wanted to have a really good series for this one, especially against an undefeated team.
Actually, true though.
I am so happy that I put together my computer last minute, put together all my streaming stuff constantly. Like I messed up the name, but you have no idea how many other issues I was going through. They were like, oh, now old sad boy is like echoing. Now I only hear InDefiance through my left earbud. I was just going through all that, and I'm like, finally, I fixed all the tech issues. And then you're like, the title's wrong, and I'm like, we're in game 3, and the title's wrong the whole damn time.
I mean, it is what it is. You scraped together what you could, and we appreciate it.
I was able to technically stream all 3 games, though, so I'm pretty hype about that. I mean, all in all, you guys were one team fight away from winning game 1 as well.
Yeah, it was really close. It was a really close game. They played really well.
To be honest, I don't really remember what happened in any of the games. So
You played long games that just constantly fought. I'm surprised you don't remember game 2, because game 2 you were just killing them.
Game two was it was something.
Oh yeah, you guys were like 28 to 2.
yeah.
At
Yeah,
20
I
minutes?
think our comms, we just locked in for game 2 with our comms and just we just played an entirely different game compared to the first one.
It was super. Honestly, just watching the games were super fun. Like the way the games play out was super great. Who's like the main shot caller of your team?
I think it's our
jungler.
Yeah.
He's just screaming that he's.
It's like a combo of our jungler and our top laner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys played super well. I honestly like the funny thing is like even when I've moved you guys down in the power rankings, I've like always believed you guys were like better. But then like, I wanted to catch like Knights of Ishtar on their come up. I was like, all right, they're totally locked it. And then I believe it was you guys who just beat them, and then now you beat Cat Cowboys. And so now I think everybody had like I think you're kind of putting the league on notice in my opinion.
No, InDefiance, we know we've been on your radar. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, we were hating on the other guy.
We know you got our back.
We were hating on Stevie Loki.
Dude,
No, no.
I was just waiting for you guys to get like these more like more and more big dubs, because I'm just like, like I want to put them higher, but like technically the people they've beaten are kind of on the lower rung, and then they've happened to lose these other games. So it's like I try to do all these things, but then like my power rankings just go into the trash like every week anyway at this point. Like maybe I need to do a more accurate in my head power rankings. Maybe that's what I need to do instead of like try and do the fun ones. I like to give teams like room to climb. Like I always like to refer to it when I put a team down, it's like they're on a springboard, because they're generally in a good matchup to then like fly up to the top. But you guys have looked phenomenal, and I think you guys are just a great team.
Well, I want to like give a lot of credit to everyone on my team too, because like none of them have ever played competitive before. Like this is all new to everybody, so we're all learning as we go, and it's going pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, because like I would say a lot of the experienced teams are making like pretty much almost more mistakes than you guys are, and you guys are pretty much learning on the go and looking great while doing it.
Yes.
I remember correctly, I'm not sure how to say your name, team captain here, but you have played somewhere here before, right? I think we discussed that before.
Yeah.
Because
That was
I see you have a role from a long time ago. I think I had seen that you had been here before. Okay.
I've been playing this game too long.
Do you remember what your last time in BTL was?
I don't remember honestly. Maybe like season 15.
Okay.
I think when we talked about it previously, I think it was Spectre related, right?
Yeah, I was on
Spectre.
Oh, we were living by the lake.
Oh, okay. Were you there?
Yeah, that was
day one or
no. I didn't play with them in for long in BTL. I think.
I see.
Or if anything, I was like mostly just in and out sub.
Man, that season was so fun. I remember I flew across the country from like Denver to like Tennessee. I go to a random bar, and while you guys are playing, there's a cup that says "Live Lake Love," and I'm like, "What the heck?"
What? That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in general chat or like trash talk. Like you can see me just randomly post it while I was like at a bar. Just randomly, just like, look at this, that's neat, because that's what
fair.
I do. That's what I do at bars. Everyone else is being wild. I'm like getting drunk, and I'm like, look, it's BTL related.
Now for like the MVP as well, to the ADC here at a fantastic performance. What questions y'all got for him?
Oh shoot, I'm MVP.
Bot lane,
yeah,
MVP.
well,
yes,
bot lane
sure.
MVP, but it's like
No,
we were discussing
MVP for sure.
Yeah, InDefiance will discuss like often we'll give ADCs MVP and not give any credit to their bot lane partners. So InDefiance wanted to try to bring in both bot laners, but it was the numbers.
For example, I've played with Rohit for so long, and he plays Rel all the time, and he'll get 5-man engages, and everyone's like, "Man, look at that! Look at that 80 carry cleaning up after those 5-man engages. He's so good." And like, don't get me wrong, I've liked my 80 carry, but like it's a combined effort, especially with how I feel like support generally dictates like how lane phase goes pretty often. So it's just like just bring them both in here from now on. I think it just makes it more fair and more fun. How not fun was Jin early?
Honestly, I was kind of just quiet while my team was doing stuff on the map. I was just honestly just sitting bot, taking waves, being a little bitch to be honest. Because I could get run down at any moment by anyone. So,
the ADC life, baby.
Yeah, I know. I saw all the turret dives that they kept prepping on you too. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Everyone else is shot calling. Yeah, I can try to hit him with my R. I've got my equalizer. You're like, I'll W. I can W them.
I can. I'll be back. I'll be back here, guys.
Yeah, to be honest, before that dive happened bot, I was just like, hey guys, can I get a little bit of help? I think they're coming on me. And then they just did.
They just showed up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still super good, because like if you consider how many times they dove on you, like the nature of their team comp of like health stackers and then like getting pretty much the mountain soul, you still ended up doing like a lot of damage and went 13-5-12, which is extremely impressive.
There were
Yeah.
multiple times where I thought Jin was dead. That Jin ended up getting the force shot and getting the kill. That was clutch.
Yeah, to be honest, I felt like I was inting the entire game and I just got carried. I was in the backpack.
I would say that you were inting up until you like okay. So hold on. There. You bought collector first, right? Which that's a Jin build. It's fine. Then you bought a dagger, and I feel like that was the point you were inting up until. And then I saw you just pivot immediately away from the dagger and go, "Nah, I need some freaking damage." Then you got BF sword, and you're able to get like fat shutdowns immediately off of the BF sword and get the IE. And I think that's when you stopped inting. I think when I saw the dagger, I was petrified of your build.
To be honest, I accidentally bought the dagger and I was just like feeling really homeless because I bought dagger and I just had a missing item slot. I was just like, oh shit, what am I doing?
I thought like in this matchup you were gonna go like rapid fire second, and I'm like, it's doomed. It's doomed.
No. I have a bit of balls on me.
I have one more question because we do have another series pending that is running over. But just real quick, did you guys ever discuss Mundo's build? And did you ever say, like, does Mundo just not feel that tanky to you?
I mean, he just built no resistances.
Exactly.
And then we were just melting him.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot on there. That was being mentioned a lot on the cast. We're like, what's happening with the resistances? Did you see the what was the item? What's the item that gives the AD for HP? Because that was what's in the game.
Overlord's Bloodmail.
Yeah.
The funny thing was is he actually started building resistances. I look away, and then suddenly he has 2 tunnelers, and I'm like, wait, what happened?
I saw that too.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good idea when our Rumble is kind of burning through everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of in the first place, because I'm just like, man, so many top leaders, especially Mundo, are just addicted to Heartsteel. And I'm like, just go Hollow Radiance, dude. Like, you're against Rumble. Just suck it up and go Hollow Radiance. Like, it's not, you can go whatever you want else after. Just get it, please.
Do y'all have any shout outs? Anything else y'all want to say while on the stream? Thank you for joining us here. I know I just kind of grabbed y'all, but I do appreciate you actually talking to us. You could just leave whenever we grab you.
Thank you to my team for not griefing me, and also Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Just have to drop the literature.
He's also 6'5".
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, love that. All right, InDefiance, are you still cool to keep streaming? We have the Mingos versus the Doctors on the docket. How is it looking for you?
I would prefer if somebody else was streaming, because I'm still kind of setting stuff up on my computer.
Yeah, I was like, that is fair. I was wanted to see if Lakey is.
Yeah, I just turned on my computer, and like I just got a message from Floor being like, "Hey, where's staff though?" And I'm like, "Ah, shit!"
I saw that, and I was in the movie theater, so like I was completely away from my phone for like a couple hours, and then when I came back in, I saw all the stuff. I was like, "Oh, how scuffed are things right now?"
I just really wanted our team to be streamed because we've only been streamed once, and like I know my team could put up a really great performance, and I like want to show them off to everyone. And
every time we were smashing, there was no stream, so I was pretty sad.
Dude, I know. I fully agreed too, because I was all like,
about that too.
I talked about how like, oh, I was gonna stream the first game, and then I just got really busy that week, and then like suddenly Fleur messaged me, and I was just like, oh no, and she was like, oh, if it's too scuffed, like don't worry about it, it's fine, it happens. I'm like, no, I'm streaming this, I'm figuring it out.
Well, I appreciate it.
I am glad I did this. This series was an absolute banger, and I think you guys played super well.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Lakey said that he can, in fact, pick up the stream.
Oh, thank God.
In a moment, at least. So, let's see.
Ito, are you hopping in, or am I staying in? I have not eaten.
I was about to make myself some food too, because movie theater prices are crazy.
I haven't eaten in 7 hours, and I would not be. I thought I had an extra hour. That was my bad. But yeah, no, I would not be sad if. But I also understand if
some food. I can help cast. So go ahead.
You are a gangster and a gentleman.
Both of them, hell yeah. All right. We can actually we could take down the stream in Defiance until Lakey is ready. So if you're ready,
I'm figuring out that button again.